Hey, you found That Checks Out with Damon and Ted. I'm Damon Paracchio, and he's Ted Wilson.
That was a valiant effort, Damon. But actually, they found That Checks Out with Ted and Damon with Ted Wilson and Damon Paracchio.
But we said my name was going to be first.
No, we talked about it. My name was going to be first.
That checks out. Hey. All right, well, welcome back to, I don't know, I guess we're calling this, changing the name.
That's right, we're changing the name. Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be, I'm just saying. Because,
wait, Damon, hold on a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be That Checks Out with Ted and Damon.
Did you just big time me on the opening?
You told me I had to big time you in the beginning.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So you shouldn't have taught me that.
All right. Well, Ted gets top billing, so I'm going to sit here quietly,
but
and see how the next hour goes.
But yes, we this is actually part 2 of the first episode because we got so much good feedback and we have some stories that tie into what we talked about last time that we wanted to go over. But we should talk about the fact that the podcast, the first part was called I'm Just Saying. Now it's called That Checks Out because we started this 2 years ago and we checked it out then. Doesn't check out now. So
yeah,
I'm Just Saying no longer is available. It's been commandeered by other people, just like I commandeered this part from Damon.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty good at that.
And the other one's probably a lot better than what we're doing anyway. So kudos to them for taking the name, kudos. But no, we seriously, when we talk or we text or we always end stuff or Facebook post, social media post, we end it with, I'm just saying. We always have. It's like our one-up mic drop. It's over. You know what I mean? Are you still rolling backwards?
Yeah, my chair's rolling backwards, but I thought I was going to sneeze, and I didn't want that.
Ted's getting used to the chair with wheels. So they make them that way now, Ted. 2020.
My Lord, we can make a phone call and chairs with wheels.
But so we started going, what else do we say? Seems legit. We say that a lot.
Yeah, we also looked that one up. Seems legit.
Yeah. Did not work.
Did not work. That checks out.
So that that does check out. And that's really our other staple is that checks out. So we just like to legitimize, especially when it hurts the other person drastically. Correct? Like, if I say, I lost 30 pounds, but I think I put 40 back on, that checks out. You know what I mean? It's whenever you can get that punch.
You lost 30 pounds, but we eventually found that dog. Don't worry about it.
Correct. Yeah. His name was Billy, and he came home 3 days later. Yeah. But so Ted commandeered the opening. So what are we talking about today, Ted?
Well, we talked about, the travels that kind of kicked this off. We went to Cooter's Last Stand in Iowa and Mayberry, North Carolina. But we forgot the trip out to Cooter's Last Stand. Do you remember what we did on the way out there? The major thing for you? The thing that ruined our entire drive out?
Yeah, well, it ruined me too because, big Tommy Boy fan, and we driving through Ohio.
We were driving, yes, thank you for saying we were driving through Ohio. We were not driving necessarily through Sandusky.
Well, we did.
We did.
For about 40 minutes looking for the damn sign that's in the movie that says Sandusky, population, whatever. And when did we find that? Not at all.
Still looking for it.
Yeah, it was really, it was heartbreaking. We did find the school then. After dark, where I got to stand in front of signs barely lit up in my Callahan Auto Parts shirt that I wore specifically for that day.
Well, that's the thing is, for no one who's ever Luke Duke a ride with Damon is that he will ask you probably 13 to 15 miles ahead of when his exit is and then ask you every 15 seconds after that, is this it? Is this the one? I will say it's in 15 miles. It's exit 220. It's going to say Sandusky, Ohio on the sign. And the sign will come by that'll say North Olmsted, Ohio. And he will say, is that it? Is that my exit? No, that's not the one. That's not your exit. Will say Sandusky, Ohio.
As I'm halfway
It'll
on
say
the off-ramp.
220. So the fact that I say we're going through Ohio, he immediately was like, oh, we'll find a path that goes through Sandusky. And I was like, well, it doesn't go through Sandusky. We're not going to the lake. But he really wanted to get this picture to the point where we were pulling off and asking people. He was just like, oh, I'm just going to run in real quick and ask him where the sign was.
I remember this.
He didn't believe the first guy. So we had to go pull off somewhere else and ask someone else where the sign was. And Damon kept coming back to the car. These guys don't know where their sign is. I don't know what they're talking about. There has to be a sign at the edge of the road that says, welcome to Sandusky.
Yeah. Well, the town we grew up in has, 5,000 people in it. And there's one sign when you come into town.
Well, from any way you come into town.
Right. But there's one, it's on Historic Route 66. So, of course, there's a sign on Historic Route 66. There was no sign.
Nothing.
The main highway coming into town, it's like, where is the sign? So you would ask somebody, hey, where's your population sign? And they look at you like you're just absolutely ridiculous. And I never found it.
And on the way in, we saw the school, and I said, "Well, you just want to get a picture of the school?" And you're like, "No, I don't want to get a picture of the school." Cut to 40 minutes later when
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
pretty
let's go
much
to the
dark.
school.
Hey, let's go to the school. You said
Go
go to the school,
man.
right?
It's got the name on it. Let's go to the school. Yeah. So that was a wasted part of the trip. But I will say, we texted this week because we had other people that we've told these stories to about Cooters and about this and that. And they're like, you left out this, or you left out that, or you left out this. So we'll touch base a little bit with that stuff because it's, there's a lot of stuff we left out.
Yeah, I was thinking as I was getting in the car on the way home last time, as I was putting on my seatbelt, we forgot a major part of the monster truck story. Do you remember that?
Monster truck. When we rode in the back?
Yeah, we rode in the back. I don't remember if you remember how the monster truck seating was supposed to go. It was supposed to go adult, child, adult, child, adult. So they could, squeeze a child in between adults so they could make them a little more safer. The problem is that there was no adjustment if you went adult, 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 adult.
Well, we went ogre, grizzly bear.
Right.
Yeah.
So the guy puts you in the back because he fills the left side. He's like, okay, that side's good. And he puts you in the back. And he's like, oh, you together? We say yes. And he looks at me kind of weird. And we get that a lot, so I didn't really think about it. And he goes, well, I guess you can go next. And I'm like, okay. And I sit down and I can't find a seatbelt. I'm like, do you have a seatbelt? And you go, yeah, I got a seatbelt.
I got it on already. Right. Of course.
I can't find a seatbelt. So I lean forward. I say to the guy, I'm like, guy, I don't think I have a seatbelt. He's like, oh yeah, because you're in the child seat. There's a seatbelt there, but it probably won't reach. And it literally, speaking of Tommy, it was literally like fat guy in a little coat. I'm trying to get this seatbelt around me. I can't get it, past my.
You couldn't lace your shoes with that thing. It wasn't long
so
enough.
tiny. And he's like, oh, you should be fine. First thing he does, spins out. The force almost throws me over the edge of the thing. And he's like, is that guy all right back there? And Damon's like, yeah, he's good.
I didn't even look. I'm too busy watching, screaming, yeehaw. Yeah, that was quite the entertaining feat, I guess, if you will.
It was thrilling, let me tell you. I got a thrill out of it, almost dying for you to ride in a monster truck in a Civil War field, which I still claim that you probably have never seen an actual Civil War reenactment.
I really haven't. Seriously, that ruined it because the bar for comedy was set so high. I know when I go, I'm going to ridicule, come on.
But this looks like a war. What are they doing out here? This is crazy.
They didn't have black socks back then. Come on, something's, you know what I mean? I'm going to nitpick it and find something wrong.
Yeah.
There's no way it's going to be as funny as it was the first time.
No, because they're not going to sneak their horses through the autograph line to surprise the North. It's not going to happen.
I asked you that. That's what we're going to do too. We have a lot of people that already like this on social media. I don't know why. Don't encourage it. It's stupid. But we're going to start putting up. I have a lot of videos from that trip, and this is from years ago. We'll put them up, and it's really entertaining. The commentary, it's just two guys. And, we got some of the worst looks from people when we were just saying probably what everybody's thinking.
Right. Well, sure.
Intelligent people.
Again.
Yeah. Which is my story,
I can't. If we had $1 for every time we had someone either literally leave our area or at least walk down so they were no longer in, distance where they could hear our voice, we would have left that place with money.
Yeah, you are correct. We started out in crowds. We finished alone.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
And people would come up and be like, oh, these guys seem like they're having fun. They're laughing. They're joking. They'd try to get in on it. And we'd start talking to them. And then after maybe 10 minutes, they'd be like, no, this is not what we thought it was going to be.
Hey, so that was in Virginia.
Yeah.
That's when we stayed at your sister's house.
That's correct.
And the one thing everybody knows about is she has at her house there, we stayed in a guest house. They have a floor vent for the heat.
Yeah, but it's not like a normal floor vent, along the baseboard.
It's not. And for a guy, it's ridiculous. Some 300-pound guy walking across a cheese grater in a hallway. The hallway's 2 foot wide, 3 foot wide, and the floor grate's 2.5 foot wide.
Right. There's no way to walk through that hallway from the living room, from the bedroom, from the bathroom, or from the kitchen without walking over that grate.
Right.
It is dead center in the middle.
And I don't like wearing my shoes especially I'm a guest. I don't like wearing my shoes in the house, this and that. I didn't know it was there the first time. I said a lot of stuff.
Yeah. He's looking at me. He's like, why is he walking weird? I would stretch over this grate every time, no matter what I went through. And I would just be in another room and I would just hear, rah!
Yeah.
And it was Damon, floor grate? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Get up in the middle of the night, Ted's sleeping, sound asleep. Yeah. He'd be like, floor grate. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Someone needed a snack, did they?
Yeah.
Well, floor grate wins this one.
Yeah. It pretty much wrecked the whole nice house.
Yeah,
nice
it was nice that we could
country.
go, because you were saying we didn't stay in Mayberry because we were cheap, and this was a very accommodating way to live.
Yeah. Hey, well, there's a difference between being cheap and being free.
That's true. Right? Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, we didn't have to pay for housing because my sister offered that to us.
Yeah. I like cake. I like free cake more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You did graciously leave behind like a 24 pack of hype Hawaiian Punch for her
Punch,
kids. So I'm
yes.
sure she was thrilled with you for
Yeah,
that.
when a little girl tells me, Virginia tells me that's her favorite, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was great. Don't go follow those guys over there. They're going to get settled. 2 seconds later, she's sitting in the
I like
the
Hawaiian
kitchen.
Punch. Come on, you can have one. Shouldn't you ask her mom first? No, I'm a guest.
This is the guest house. Don't
It's
you
the guest
understand how it
house.
works?
Yeah, don't take it over there. You're gonna get in trouble. Stay here. No, we had so much fun there. You know, the other thing that we did that trip, Ruby Tuesdays.
Yes. Do you remember where that led? Let's talk about Ruby Tuesdays. I said, hey, have you been to Ruby Tuesdays? Have you tried their salad bar or whatever they call it? You know, like they have some special, because no one can ever just call it a salad bar. It's got to be like the garden buffet or
Right.
you know, you can't just be like, it's salad and it's on a bar, figure it out.
Right.
But yeah, it's fantastic. And I don't know, like around here, they all disappeared. They're no longer in existence around here. And yet,
I couldn't remember the last time I went to one.
yeah.
But I remember the last time I went to one now. And then you cannot find them around here. It's terrible.
But
it's terrible.
Do you remember we tried to find something similar around here?
We
And
did.
We asked people, hey, is there anything, have you ever been to a place that's like Ruby Tuesdays that has a really nice salad bar that is reasonably priced but has a lot of options and everything? Do you remember the place we ended up?
I don't remember what it was called, but it was a little bar place.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember. It's somewhere out by Star Rock or somewhere out that way. It felt
Yeah.
like. Yeah. And this guy hyped it up and everything, and we get there, and it just looks like a
It almost
small
looks like
town bar kind of place.
It's not even that. That's what the building looked like. But the salad bar itself.
Well,
like,
I wasn't even going to get to that.
Yeah,
yet.
the guys that push the Mexican ice things past your house, you know, the
Yeah.
carts and they're ringing the bell. That's a little bit bigger than that salad bar was.
And we walk in, and there's maybe 4 people at the bar and 2 people sitting down, and
Oh.
they're like, do you have a reservation? And
I have no reservations about eating here. No, I'm fine. I will come on in and have a sandwich.
right, he literally says that to the woman. There's only 2 of us. There's 45 seats. 43 of them are still open. They're like, no, we don't have room for you. You don't have a reservation. We're like, you've got to be kidding. Like, what could be so important here?
Yeah. Yeah. So then we got the salad bar. Well, we see the salad bar. We're like, well, we have to get it. We drove. All the
We
way here.
drove an hour and a
Yeah.
half for this. We might as well get the
And
salad
we're
bar.
hungry. So, and it, it wasn't bad, but it was not, it was not what it was hyped to be. So then I remember I ordered the pork tenderloin, and the way the waitress / bartender, right? Same lady.
Yeah, it was all the one thing, sure.
Yeah, well, they had no tables, remember, because we didn't have a reservation.
That's right.
So we ate amongst, 15 open tables while we sat at the bar.
At a bar that was not conducive for eating.
Right.
It was slanted towards like the back and everything.
Yeah.
was like you had to hold your plate
Yeah.
while you're eating. It was
Yeah,
great.
you don't put too much ketchup on your plate or everything on your plate gets ketchup. Right. It's called gravity, folks. It's how it works. It's pretty simple. So, but I ordered, I think like a pork tenderloin. And the way she looked at me, she gave me a look. She goes, oh, well, that's homemade, the way she said it. And I looked at her and I looked at Ted and I had to wait till she walked away because, I don't want to get killed. I don't know where we're at. And I thought it's either homemade or the chick in the kitchen sleeping with her dude. You know what I mean? And that hoe made my sandwich.
It probably as she was making the
I
sandwich.
don't know. It's like her brain shut off. Her eyes went blank and she just said, that's hoe made.
Well, they were already amazed that we had the audacity to show up at this place without a reservation.
Yeah.
So anything that we did was just
And it was, you know what?
Outlandish.
Like I said, it was a quaint little place. It's a bar, a little town. But when all the locals came in, it was like cheers. You know what I mean? Everybody,
Right.
hey. And here we are like, I guess we should have called ahead.
yeah. They're like,
know?
who are these guys? What are they doing on our seats?
Right.
Did they call ahead? And we're not kidding. Like people would come in like, yeah, party of 8. We have a reservation. Like,
Yeah. Party of 8. All their tables sat 4.
right.
It's like party of 8. Cool. I'm in the standing section.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, the food was fine. The salad bar was okay.
But it was not Ruby Tuesdays.
It was not Ruby Tuesdays.
It was not bad. I will not say that it was bad, but it was not Ruby Tuesdays.
No, Ruby Tuesdays, you get all those different salads.
We were so cocky too because they were like, "Oh yeah, if you the salad bar is $10, but if you get an appetizer, the salad bar is only like $3." So we're like, "Well, that's dumb because we're going to pay $7 and get salad bar plus an appetizer. We can do that." I couldn't do that. I was so full by the end of that. It was
Yeah.
I mean, I went up to the salad bar 6-8 times. That's my fault.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was worth the money. But it wasn't, cause it wasn't overpriced. So it was fine,
Yeah.
but it was not anywhere what it was hyped to be. Cause there is no more Ruby Tuesdays. Is that all out east now? I think, right?
No, there's one just outside of St. Louis. So there is one in Illinois. It's like the only Waffle House in Illinois.
Right, which
it's
is my
just
wife's.
close enough to
Yeah.
be part of Dixieland to be considered.
I understand.
We're close enough.
Yeah. Waffle House. That's a different animal. You know that. I
Yeah.
can't. Yeah. That's my wife's.
There was one more thing about Cooters I wanted to bring up. You talked about the wrestling. Do you remember what happened during the wrestling? It was that really like well put together Daisy Duke and Uncle Jesse duo.
Oh, yeah. So we couldn't figure out if they were father-daughter or some weird, I got lots of money and like wearing overalls type deal.
Right. They had such a great costume. And then halfway through, this Daisy Duke decided that she was going to interject herself into the wrestling match and just crawled in and started wrestling one of the wrestlers. The ref didn't know what was going on. The wrestler she was wrestling didn't know what was going on.
They had no affiliation with her.
Yeah, the one that they had thrown out. Part of the match didn't know what was going on. It was the weirdest because none of us, like all the kids, were like, "Yeah, the Daisy Duke's gonna win." We had no idea what was going on, except for the fact that they finally had to go in and like throw her out of the ring.
But the sad part is she had the best costume out of all the wrestlers.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
it's so crazy that all the stuff that happened, I totally had forgotten about that until you brought it up last week. But not quickly enough to bring it up while we were talking on the microphones. That would have been better.
No, that would have been better. Yeah. That would have been better. But that's why people just kind of ask. But no, like I said, my big downfall with that one, Ruby Tuesdays was a big plus. But the floor grate was terrible. The floor vent. Seriously. So if there's parts I block out of that, I don't remember that.
About that floor grate.
I know. And then the Sandusky. It was a major disappointment. But now we did drive through, was it Pittsburgh too? And we had a sandwich. Where'd you take me? Permanente.
Permanente Brothers or something like that. Yeah, where they put the fries in the sandwich.
So that was good. It's weird how we remember our trips based on food. That's great. And it's like, well, they had this sandwich over here. And then
anyone seen you is probably like, how does he not remember the food?
You guys remember when we went to the deep fried Oreos fest? I think it was Cooter's last stand. I'm not sure. That guy over there is just deep frying stuff at random.
Do you remember when we were talking about when we went to Iowa, that was for the Chris Cagle thing at the River Ruckus.
Yeah.
And like you said, it was in the middle of nowhere. GPS really wasn't working. We saw a guy on the side of a road kind of directing traffic. We're like, oh, maybe this is where we go. And so we pull in and he's like, no, I mean, yeah, this is the place, but this is for VIPs. You got to go up 6 miles, turn a right, go down 4 miles, turn a right, come back another 2 miles. And I was like, in my head, that's putting us right back here, just over there. But I didn't say anything. And he's like, yeah, well, just go ahead. We do that. We park.
Yeah.
We walk forever. We get in. We walk more. We walk more. We walk more. We get in the grandstand. We sit down. We're waiting. I look to my left, and maybe what, 100 feet from where we were is that guy sitting on the side of the road where he wouldn't let us in
at the gate. Yeah. Well, I mean, the buses were back there, so I get it. We're not supposed to.
There was that episode of I don't know if you've ever seen the episode of The Simpsons where Homer like is all frustrated. He's trying to get to work. He's late. He's doing all the stuff. He finally parks. He looks through the fence, and there's his driveway right there. That's what it felt like.
Right.
Because it was like, I don't know, like 45 minutes to get around from
He could have said, whip a U-turn. Go back a half a block and hang a left.
Yeah.
And it's right up there.
If he would have basically said, yeah, you're going to park on the other side, but you're going to be sitting right here, I would have been fine with that. But he didn't. He was like, oh, you're going to go down there. This is nowhere near where you want to be. Yeah. Like, oh, there's that guy, right?
Well, at least that guy wasn't running the autograph session the next day. Because remember, that's what we did before we blew out of town.
That's true, yeah.
Ted hung out with me, which was great because I'm a big Chris Cagle fan. So we go down. We don't know where to park. Now we did kind of go in that back road. Remember, we turned in there.
There's no one there now. Let's go.
So we turned in there and blazed our own trail.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, hey, there's a spot you can put it in. Just throw it in there. Let's do it.
So we just start walking until we see, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 people. There wasn't many people there when we got there. And they're all standing around. They're like, well, where's the line? I'm like, right here.
Yeah.
That
time you knew where the line was. They weren't asking for funnel cakes, so clearly.
Right. Yeah. Where's the line? Right here.
Yeah.
You know why? Because this is where all of us are.
Right.
So if we get in line, people will, and hence they made the adjustment come up. So it's really cool. He did a meet and greet, and I got to shake his hand. I took a little video of him. I like to take videos on my phone.
Yeah. No, you were like, because your wife couldn't go, and you said, Ted, can you hold the camera on and ask him if he'll say hi to my wife and everything since she couldn't make it and everything. And that was really nice. And then I went up and he's like, what's your story? I'm like, oh, I just found out about you yesterday. It was really nice what you did for him, though. It was great.
Yeah. So as we're walking away, Chris Cagle turns his head. He goes, hey, Ted, how'd you like the show? So it was very personable. It was very cool. I mean, it's just some cool stuff that you don't, you don't remember that stuff. I remember it. But as we're talking about it, it's just we went to the concert. We went. Right. I remember more about. Do you remember, like on the way there? That was Iowa. Was that the Hobo Museum?
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to remember that. Between the gnome and the bull, we saw the Hobo Museum.
Hobo Museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what's funny is we go in. They hand me a flyer. Okay, and it says on the front of the flyer, like they have them there, like they order them. It says to resident. How the hell can a hobo subscribe to Hobo Weekly, Hobo Monthly? Where would you get it?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Where would you? That has to be your paper boy's got to hate you.
I mean, one of the residents might have been a hobo at one point. You never know. What are the odds?
Yeah,
Maybe.
it was crazy. But this whole museum, it looked like it was
an
an
old
old
movie
theater,
theater, yeah.
old movie theater.
Yeah.
Probably a really cool theater back in the day. A lot of old woodwork and stuff. But you walk in, and I mean, they have what was it, the hobo, like the code of ethics or the code? Well, they had code of ethics, but
the code, like so you could like the
yeah, like
like,
they're
so you-
hieroglyphics,
right
Hobo
thank you.
hieroglyphics.
That's a good word for. I don't like that you got that in front of me, but that's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
pretty much
what-
what it was.
Well, don't ask me to write it down because I'd be like HIRO glyphics. Yes. But I think there's 2 F's in glyphics, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
pretty sure.
But no, they show. So what would happen is if they'd go to somebody's house, say there was a dog there or this or that in a certain area, they leave a marking. They wouldn't write the word dog. They leave a marking so that other hobos
Right.
that blaze the trail behind them know. Or if there's food there. You
Yeah,
know,
if they were
or-
friendly, if they would pass this by, or clothing would be donated, that kind of. Yeah, it was a very intricate art setup that was just like basic shapes.
It was amazing. I mean, like you have a whole different perspective on on life when you walk. And then they go, we have a home movie. We have 13 seconds maybe. Yeah. It was like a really really bad early Disney, type production.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty bad. But I just remember that the other day. I thought, man, the Hobo Museum. That was Iowa, correct?
That was Iowa. Yeah.
That was Iowa. So yeah, aside from the Kegel thing, like I said,
Well, the
then-
Kegel thing was weird too because we didn't know when he was going on or what's happening. Well, you were kind of leaving me in the dark a little bit, which is smart because I probably would have bolted had I known. You're like, yeah, we're gonna get there at 5. He's not gonna go on until 11:30.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, there's like 9 acts in front of him. I don't know any of them.
That's all right. They got Oreos. We're good.
Yeah, it's 110 degrees outside.
It was hot. It was hot. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So, but and then I'm not in a new country, and I don't think you are either.
Yeah,
so
I knew none of it.
all the people before him, I had no idea who they were. So I really didn't. Some of them were really good,
Yeah.
but I've never heard them, and I couldn't tell you any of their names. So I was there for one reason, kind of like
Yeah,
the
If you remember how
Orioles.
good the high school football team was when we went,
Yeah.
I probably sat in the grandstand of the Kegel show more than any football game combined when we were in high school. I'm just going to be up here. Let me know what's going
The
on.
grandstand was way back. Like
Yeah.
they had it set up like if you go to a music, like an amphitheater, how the lawn somewhere would be. That was the grandstand. It was way back, but it was not all on flat ground. So you could sit in the grandstand and hear the music just fine. And Ted was comfortable doing that.
I did get spaghetti and a garlic bread cone, though, that I recall.
You did.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was the highlight for me.
Yeah. Pasta in a bread, like
It
it
was
looked like a
bread-
waffle cone.
Yeah, it was like an ice cream cone of garlic bread with pasta inside of it. That was my fried Oreos, Damon. That was my holy grail.
I'm glad I give us
Yeah, well,
that.
you have a history with garlic bread. Do you remember your history with garlic bread?
Slightly. Yeah, I remember.
It was it was in Morris, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a Morris at what's the Chili's?
Chili's?
Chili's.
Chili, I don't think garlic bread, I think Chili's, but that had to be where it was.
No,
Yeah.
when I go to Chili's, I'm real picky. So I either get like
Shocking.
I'm not a picky kind of guy, but I'm picky sometimes there. By the way, that'll be a running joke. Anytime I say that, you will hear Ted chuckle because I am that every type of guy.
Yeah,
So,
we will be in the middle of places where we have a pretty good rapport. We've known each other for years. We'll be in front of someone who's never met us before. They're trying to explain their deal. They're trying to explain, like, yes, you should come see this. Pay for it. You want to do it? Dan will be right to their face. I'm not that kind of guy. And they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. Like, I don't know. Is this guy not that kind of guy? Did we just offend him by asking if he wants to come see our hobo museum? Like, we don't know what's going on.
yeah, I'm not a hobo viewing type of guy, But I like to throw that behind a lot of stuff. It makes people awkward. But no, I usually get either the buffalo chicken sandwich, phenomenal,
Okay.
okay, or
Not sponsored.
I get pasta.
Yeah.
And when I get the pasta, I like the garlic bread.
So you get pasta at a, like, pseudo Tex-Mex place is what you're telling me.
10-4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You one of those people that gets like the steak at Red Lobster? Is that
No, actually, Red Lobster and cheddar, cheddar
inless
bay
shrimp.
biscuits
Yeah,
and shrimp.
biscuits
Yeah.
and inless shrimp, right?
Yeah.
But
But no,
you can pay one price and eat till you poop. That statement right there.
yeah. What are you having? I'm having lupper. Just start serving.
I'm having food. Just keep bringing it, whatever it is.
Yeah, those lobsters are going to die of old age before I leave.
But
okay, you're
I'm
not
sorry.
going to kill them.
I
I
big
ordered
time
an-
to your garlic bread
I
story.
ordered an extra piece of garlic bread. That's all. I got an extra piece. It was
no,
easy.
No.
Yeah,
You asked
maybe
the
two.
woman. You're like, hey, I like garlic bread. If you could just bring me some extra garlic bread, that would be great. She's coming out from I can see her. You can't from where she's coming
I know,
out. I can
your
see
eyes
the
were
garage.
awesome.
Yeah, I would. You're like, what? I'm like, I don't think she brought you pasta. I don't think she brought you a plate of garlic bread. turns out the pasta was under the garlic bread, but it was what, 5, 6 pieces?
5. Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's probably my best garlic bread ever. So that was pretty good. Just the look on your face. I saw you smiling.
And did you share a single piece of that garlic bread?
I didn't have any extra. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, she brought me 5. I ate all 5. There was not an extra piece on there. Had she come back out and said, "Sir, I forgot the 6th one," I'd be like, "Ted, I have extra garlic bread."
It always shocks me when you tell a good joke.
I'm going to write that down.
You might want to save that one. Yeah, I didn't.
Can we pause?
Did not see that coming.
But yeah, no, that was pretty solid. And the pasta was okay, but the garlic bread was good. Oh man, it's Texas toast.
Yeah.
The thick
Oh
stuff.
yeah. It was not that.
You would have liked it.
It was enough bread for a week, basically. It was,
Oh yeah,
You were eating keto then, so you're trying to cut down.
yeah. Well, that's why I only had 5.
Right.
Yeah, so I only had
6
5.
would have been ridiculous.
Yeah, when you're putting it on pasta on top of pasta, it's just now you're just being asinine. Let's not be ignorant. You know what I mean? But no, that was that was pretty good. She was a very nice lady though.
Yes.
She really was, and I had no idea that was coming. So that was a major surprise. She got a great tip. That was good. So I guess in essence, I paid for that.
Yeah, you did.
I paid for that.
I bet your plumbing paid for it later too.
You really like that? I didn't have an extra piece, huh? Really?
Yeah,
I'm gonna use that all the
'cause
time.
We've told this story to each other at least a dozen times because that's who we are. But
Yeah.
you've never gone that route before.
No. But from now on, I'm going to do that with everything.
Well, it's over. Moment's past.
Nope. Joke staying. Joke is staying.
The joke stays in the picture. I tell you, it works.
Well, so with the garlic bread, I'm off garlic bread now.
Or
I'm off garlic bread. Yeah, I'm
I
not-
couldn't tell.
Huh?
Wait, are you just off the extra garlic bread?
Yeah. I have no extra garlic bread. I stop at 5 pieces. No, we had BLTs last night.
Oh, did you? How was that?
Oh, that was delicious.
I didn't know where we were going with this, but sure.
No, and I just thought about it. So I'm going to talk. That's the nice thing about your name being on the podcast. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, that's true. And
Yeah.
I do a bit on BLTs. I'm not going to waste it here because I've wasted it on stage at least a dozen times. So why would I do it here? But
It's never gotten a laugh.
no,
We're not going to
once.
anticipate right now being that
I
time.
chuckled when I wrote it. Don't give me that.
So what do you really like, Ted? Dairy?
You know what? I can have dairy now. Just so
Can you
know.
really?
Yeah. Since the weight loss, I've gotten
Phenomenal.
able to eat
Oh,
dairy
by the
again.
way, Ted not only with weight loss, looking great, he is sporting a Cobra.
That probably has to be my thing now, right? Just walk in and just blow your mind with my
he
shirt.
blew my mind with this. Now, admit it though, you got your mind blown when you saw me too, because I'm wearing one of my headbands today.
He's wearing a headband that says "Not a Ninja,"
Well, I want people to know. I don't want to have an episode.
which I, enlisted in Cobra to take training to take down ninjas, and I find out I didn't even need to. So I'm kind of disappointed.
So awesome button-up shirt, right? It's got the Cobra emblem over the pocket.
Yeah, it looks like I work at the Cobra gas station
it kind of does.
because it's a gas station uniform, but instead of saying Dale on it, it
or
says,
like he made the bowling team.
yeah,
It's like,
it says
hey,
Cobra on one and it has the emblem on the other side.
yeah, we are totally going to kick G.I. Joe's ass this week. What's your handicap, Ted?
Well, it's in the room with me. It's wearing a Not a Ninja headband. To be honest,
tells killer jokes about garlic bread. Everybody heard it. But he opens the shirt.
like Superman would. Sure,
And he opens the shirt. There's another Cobra emblem under the shirt.
I did it
He's
again.
double
for Damon.
Cobra.
Yeah,
He's
And
like,
I'm a double agent.
you're
That's how that
Cobra to
works.
the second power.
Don't bring math into this.
I find that you're in awe. But so you can have dairy now that you've lost. We had to go on a tangent there.
Yeah.
Ted lost a lot of weight. I have found it, and it's pretty
Yeah, well, I
solid.
didn't lose it. I just gave it to you.
Right, it's pretty solid.
And they handed it to you in sticks of garlic bread.
Yeah, but last week was the jersey
Yeah,
for
the Back to the Future.
Oh man,
1.21 gigawatts out of time jersey. Sure.
that's a nice jersey. This one here, I would say rivals it only because I'm a much bigger GI Joe fan than I was. So, and for those that don't know what GI Joe are, just stop listening. You're not our target audience. I'm not worried
It's
about
only
it.
been in popular culture since 1960, but that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Right. They had guys that we didn't like playing with.
Yeah.
They were too big.
Yeah, we were past those guys when we started.
Yeah. But no, so kudos to you. So dairy's good.
Yeah, dairy's good.
So,
I'm not going to risk it and if I'm out,
But the next trip we go then, when I do all the mac and cheese, you will be,
I will try the mac and cheese.
Ted will try the mac and cheese. That's good.
I know to get my own though, because I don't want to stick my fork out and come back with a nub.
No.
Sir,
Ted's
did you have
never-
2 hands when you started this trip? I did.
Yeah.
I didn't order
Why-
my own mac and cheese.
Why
is
are
the
you
problem.
eating right-handed? I thought you were left-handed. Well, can we talk about one last thing that Elise childhood?
All right, sure.
How about your hoop?
My hoop.
Your hoop. The Wilson
The
hoop.
basketball hoop in my house.
That
the one
still
that's-
stands there as a shrine.
That's one that's like 10 feet 3 inches high, not 10 feet even. That hoop.
Yeah.
What would you like to talk about?
How about the fact that there's a chain link fence directly under it,
Well, yeah, sure.
which makes my basketball skills are limited.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're like the inverse of your eating skills. Sure.
Correct. Where I am not limited. 'Cause that's the inverse,
Well,
right? That's what the opposite, right?
Right.
Okay. But if I would get some kind of chance to drive the lane,
I'm already like,
Right.
I'm already out of this story because
No,
it's
but-
absolute bull.
but
Make it
it's-
believable before you
it's
you
hard
start.
enough for me to, I have concentrating on dribbling the basketball. I remember I couldn't dribble.
Yeah.
I couldn't, at least not when you're guarding me. I might as well just hand you the ball.
Right.
I could shoot from other places, and I probably think I shot a lot better than I really did. But if I drive the lane, I would get injured. You, however, would drive the lane and then do what, Ted? Hop the fence, maybe?
Yeah. Sometimes, sure. Bounce into the fence. Use the fence to my advantage. Whatever I needed to do. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my nemesis, that basketball hoop. And it's still there.
Still there. Fence is still there. If you still shoot at that hoop and you hit it just right, it'll go boom and bounce into the backyard. And you're like, I don't even want to shoot anymore. It's fine.
I am so done.
Yeah, that's it. I don't even want to chase it.
But I just remember, no, because the way your driveway's angled too at the back.
Yeah.
It got wider at the back, which was good.
Oh,
but it got,
most of us do.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm wider in the front. Believe it or not, it's weird. But it would angle at the back, and you would get back there, and you had a great 3-point line from the right side. If you got on the roof of the garage and went back about 8 shingles, you get a good 3-point shot from the left side. It
was a 3-point line from the right side, and it had basically the lane from the left side.
Yeah, the lane. The
was
lane. And you got to hope. You see the garage door going up, you better hurry up and shoot because something's coming
well,
out.
It was usually 2.5 on 2 if we played back there, or 1.5 on 1 because the garage lip, like the soffit, would be your half man. Because people would go to launch and they would just get stuffed by the soffit as they're trying to throw it up into the hoop. And like, oh, that counts. You got stuffed. That's
Yeah.
We're playing horse. That's your shot. That's too bad.
We going to Wilson's. We bring 3 balls. We're not going to be chasing these all over the place. But no, that was a shrine of our childhood. So
Well,
that's
you
why-
remember, I mean, I don't know how long you want to go on this, but you remember the ping pong table I had in the back of the house
Oh, that was a bigger shrine.
where it was the same thing, where the one side would have the equivalent of a 3-point line and the other side would
Right.
basically be wide enough for you to slide through.
Right.
So I learned I'm pretty good at up close ping pong because that's all I could fit.
Yeah.
Like, I went to college and people were standing 8 to 10 feet away from the table. I'm like, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah,
Is that a
rifling
thing?
the ball.
Right.
No,
But it was
we're-
good because they would be hitting it at me at speed and I could hit it back real quick. I'm like, dude, stand back. I'm like, I don't know how to stand back. We're going to play right here on this table.
Could you play without Weird Al Yankovic?
Sure.
Because as a child,
It wouldn't be as fun. but
right.
Yeah.
that was what we did though.
Yeah. If you
Ping
wasn't
pong
telling me
for
to
hours.
eat it or, yeah.
Ping pong for hours, man, and I always lost. Yeah, you're just shaking your head. Thanks for not saying nothing.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to no comment you again without no commenting you. But yeah,
You were funnel
I have
caking
said-
me. You were funnel caking me, weren't you?
Nope.
Yeah.
I have said on social media that once we can do stuff again, that I welcome any challenge in my prison basement.
Yeah. Well, your basement's set up now. You can stand back and play.
Yeah.
So that's good. But you still got to have the Weird Al. Weird Al. And what was, we had another comedy album we listened
We can't talk about that.
to. Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. Because now he's in jail.
Right.
Yeah. We can't talk
Thanks for
about
bringing that up.
Mr. Wholesome himself.
We listened to that over and
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. His name
Who was
definitely.
your inspiration growing up? Well, can't tell you.
Yeah. I like clean comics. And then later on, he's in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't vet people back then. That was our problem.
Yeah, but we couldn't listen to the dirty stuff. That was the
No,
clean stuff,
yeah.
and we listened to it. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah, we
we
could
grew
have
up and
listened
see
to the
what
dirty
happens.
stuff that were very polite and, accommodating to people.
Yeah, they're still walking free. Yeah, they are not in jail.
It's amazing.
So, but
You know what, Damon? That checks out.
Yeah. Are you big timing me all the time now?
With Ted and Damon.
Okay, so I can talk for 40 minutes about nothing.
Okay.
And, and we go to do this, and it's the dumbest thing we've done all day.
So we say we should just put record and go.